Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Great rising, peace and love. Happy Sunday. Happy Soulful Sunday. Wake up, wake up, wake up, baby. This day is here. It's a new day. It's a new day. It is a new day. Peace and love. Happy Soulful Sunday. The birds are chirping. It is beautiful Sunday here in Queens, New York. I'm looking out my window. I'm looking at the trees. Oh man, I can't wait to go. I can't wait till my cherry tree grows and I'm able to go out and sit in front and eat some cherries. What's going on, brother? Peace and love, Vanoy Club. What's going on, good brother? Peace and love, peace and love. Send me those pictures from the other night, please, when you get a chance. Peace and love, everyone. Welcome to another installment of Sunday Lights, where I share um, some perspectives, some thoughts, some inner feelings that I don't normally share on my weekly show, right? My daily show. I go a little deeper. Think of this of like a sermon. This is my ministry. It's Sunday morning, start of a new week, right? Ending the week prior, which is full of all of the things, the joys, the pains, the hurts, the sorrows, the excitement, the disappointments, all of the things. And so on Sunday mornings, I like to come and reset and share some stuff with you guys to help hopefully energize you and propel you forward into your work week, into your school week. And so Sunday light, we like to start with burning of some sage. We got a little light music playing. Not sure if you can hear it. A little light, just soft mindfulness music. And we start with a prayer as we light some sage. And a lot happens in a week. A lot happens in 7 days. In 7 days, a whole world is created. Last Sunday, we experienced a tragedy in the world. We experience tragedies every day, but last Sunday specifically, some of you may have heard LGP Qua from Philadelphia shot and killed on Mother's Day. As he often rapped about the perils of his neighborhood in North Philadelphia, and as he also rapped about specifically sons being shot and killed and their mothers crying and burying them. And that became his fate. And so today's prayer is not only for his spirit, not only for him, but today's prayer is for all of the spirits of all of the children, all of the youth, young boys and young girls, young men and young women who lost their lives to violence. This goes out to the mothers, the fathers, the grandmothers and the grandfathers, the brothers and the sisters who buried their beloveds, their children, their grandchildren, their siblings because of violence. This goes out to all of the men and women, young and old, who have propagated violence and perpetuated violence and whose lives have been altered because they took the life of another. I send prayers to them. I send prayers to their families. And I send prayers of peace, prayers of comfort, but prayers of truth, prayers of justice, prayers of redemption and atonement. I send prayers of forgiveness. And I send prayers of healing. And I pray that one day, specifically in our community, the Black and brown community, that we can see ourselves as family so that when conflict does arise, when ill feelings do arise, we are able to talk about it, we are able to communicate, we are able to express ourselves, and we don't act out in violence that ends up not only taking the life of another beloved who is part of our community, but that alters our lives and changes the trajectory of the lives of our family members. And I pray that those at the top who pull the strings, who create the guns and create the drugs and create the conditions that lead to us in our community being violent towards each other, my prayer is that they have justice, that justice be enacted upon them. And that one day they see the errors in their ways and awaken to the truth that in order to be validated, they do not have to poison the minds of another people. And my prayer is for us, those of us who are fighting for a just world, those of us who are fighting for world peace, who are fighting for harmony, who are fighting sometimes against our own people, to preserve life, to create conditions that allow it to be safe outside for our children and our parents. I pray that we have the strength to endure. I pray that we have understanding to not take anything personal when people do not join our movements or do not hear our cries. I pray that we have the language and the ability to communicate in a way that people understand and can feel us, can feel our pain, can feel our sincerity, can feel our passion, commitment, and determination. I pray that on our paths, we have the support we needed to keep going, whether that's a spouse, our children, our parents, friends, colleagues, comrades. I pray that none of us go at it alone. I pray that all of us who has a mission to make the world a better place find partners and supporters and helpers to help carry the mission and the message forward so that it can reach as many people as possible. And I pray for those who think it cannot happen to them. I pray for those who think it cannot happen to them, those who sit on the sideline and say, at least it isn't my family. I pray for them. I pray that one day it does not be their family, but I pray that they have the conscience and the courage to fight and to address the issue, to use their voice, their pen, and sometimes their money, their time, and their energy to spread a message of peace and love, to exemplify that message so that one day it is not them or their families. And I pray that you all here, anyone here who has experienced the loss of a loved one to violence, be comforted in your heart and have the strength and the understanding and the desire to work towards creating a just world, and also to keep your beloved in your heart, to keep their dreams in your heart. And with every breath in your body, every step that you take, work to make those dreams manifest. I pray for love. I pray for peace. I pray for safety. And I pray for healing for each and every one of us, those who hear my voice and those who do not. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. Peace and love, peace and love. Thank you all for tuning in. Happy Soulful Sunday. So today I want to talk about, as I mentioned, the young brother shot and killed last week on Mother's Day. Unfortunate, very unfortunate that a mother had to get the news of her son's life being taken on Mother's Day, on the day that she was to be celebrated, on the day that she was celebrated. Somebody once said, Sister Soulful Sunday from West Africa, she has a CD series called Women's Wisdom from the Heart of Africa, and I listened to a CD she made about 12, 13 years ago, and it was titled Finding Intimacy with Death. And this is before my last two siblings passed, and hundreds of more friends passed. But at that time, I already lost a dad and an uncle and a grandfather and a sister and hundreds of friends by that point, right? And I was still in a mindset that some things shouldn't happen, right? That these things shouldn't be happening. these things are senseless, these things are unfortunate, and it's not supposed to be this way. But upon listening to Soulful Sunday, hearing her wisdom, I realized something. She said what she said. She said every day is a good day to be born, just as every day is a good day to die. When we are born in the physical realm, it means we have died in the spirit realm. And when we die in the physical realm, it means we are reborn into the spirit realm, which is the realm of the ancestors, the realm from which we came. And that thing hit me because, again, I had the mindset that this thing shouldn't be happening, that people shouldn't get killed, right? I understand that people are going through transition. I understand that sickness may happen, right? Eventually, the heart is going to stop at some point, right? Whether you think you can live 300, 500 years, right? Or it's going to stop at some point. You are going to leave this body. But I'm like, people, we shouldn't be killing each other. And this is obviously coming from someone who was shot, right? Someone who also perpetuated violence against folks. But it shouldn't be happening like this. People shouldn't get killed, especially the young people. They definitely should not get killed, right? But in remembering or coming into Soulful Sunday's wisdom and recalling it now, as I had a very tough emotional week thinking about and processing the young brother's murder last week, on top of the other murders that are happening and the other murders that have happened in my personal life, right, that this murder triggered, right? I said, why not today then? If every day is a good day to be born and every day is a good day to die, then what day will we choose to die? Is it not today the best day to do anything? They said the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. The best time to have a baby could have been, you say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? When you're ready. The other best time is now. The same holds true, in my humble opinion. If you're going to go, why not now? Why not today? Because you got more to do, right? So respectfully, yes, I understand we have more to do. But again, I'm just reminded of so many things that I've read, heard, and the consciousness that I've come into understanding in is man plans and God laughs. We plan, but Allah is the best of planners. And so we have to begin to understand that, yes, have plans, yes, have desires, yes, have something you strive for, something that wakes you up every day, get you out of your bed, get you through those tough times, get you through those breakups, get you through those broke moments, get you through those downtrodden experiences, get you through. Have that desire, have those goals, have those plans, have those ambitions. But we must also rest that God plans, the divine plans, Allah plans. There is an energy that is greater than any human energy, right? That operates, that works through humans and outside of humans, and things happen, in my humble opinion, as they should. And again, this goes with saying that LGP Quad's murder on Mother's Day brought up some trauma of my brother Pick, who was killed on Mother's Day, and I was with his mother just a month ago at our Bless the Corners, and she spoke about Mother's Day coming up, and she misses her son. It's 4 years. 4 years Mother's Day that her son, Kayron Wilson, was shot and killed by somebody he knew. Right? You say it always happens like that in the hood. It's only somebody you know that killed you. And with respect to that, say, why not today? Why not today? And so when we talk about this issue of violence in America, right? Speaking about the result of a violent culture that doesn't care about a holiday, that doesn't care about a birthday, that doesn't care about anything. All right, we're speaking about violence in America. We're speaking about the violence that is taught, the violence that is like implanted in us from birth. I think it was Winston Churchill that asked, why are humans violent? He said, we are violent because we are violent. We are violent because we are violent. What does that mean? How do people become violent? People become violent because they're taught violence. Slapping a baby on the butt is violence. You don't have to slap a baby on the butt. When my daughter was born, Again, it's my first child, right? First biological child. And I just had these images, right? Baby being slapped, right, on the butt. I was like, listen, they're not slapping my baby. My ex-wife was like, no, they not. We not. Yeah, you're not doing that. There's other ways to ensure that the baby is breathing and alive, right? So my daughter did not get slapped on the butt. But that, right, you want something to happen. You are looking for a specific result, and you use violence to get that result. All right. Think about our comic books, our cartoons even. Our cartoons were terrible in the 90s. Very violent. Right? We spoke about that the other day, right? Animaniacs, it was blowing stuff up. Right? What was the other one? Roadrunner, it was getting shot, right? Like, but they was always coming back. And so like violence in our minds, a lot of us became like a game. Like it happens, it may be bad, but like we don't, I think still most people don't understand the severity specifically of murder. Right? Don't understand the severity of murder and how impactful that is. Not only that, you are taking one life, your life is now forever altered. Even if you go on the run, even if nobody tells you don't go to jail, your life is altered. The energy around your life is different than it was prior. But you are also destroying families, two families. Right? I remember when my beloved, our beloved Tashana Chicken Murphy was shot and killed, right? In 2011. And her father, Taylor Murphy, right? We did a protest, we did a peace walk rather, to the other development, to I think Manhattanville. She was in Manhattanville across the street, Manhattanville Projects, and was in front of the building of the young people who murdered her. And he spoke about forgiveness and understanding. And sometimes like me, I'm thinking like, okay, he's just saying that, right? But like, I'm not thinking he's gonna do anything crazy, but like in his heart, he cannot possibly be forgiving these people, like especially so soon. And getting arrested, trials, right? One family was completely unremorseful, but one family was very remorseful, right? The mother was extremely sorry that her son had took his daughter's life, right? And even the young brother, Tyshawn Brockington, became remorseful, became understanding of what he did and the severity of it, the impact on his own life, the impact on his family, and the impact that he really took life, right? The mother said, right, as time went on, they ended up working together, the two families, right, Taylon and Miss Anita Brockington, and they're working together, created a program called Both Sides of the Gun, because they wanted people in the hood specifically, right? They went to churches, they went to community organizations, they went to parks, they went centers, they went everywhere, sharing them talking about what brought them together, which was a murder. Her son murdered his daughter, and then they're together working to create a more peaceful Harlem, right? Incredible energy. But she said something that at that point it had never struck me fully. She said, Tayshawn used to take his little brother to school, pick him up from school, help him with his homework, do things with him. But now he's in prison, and his little brother doesn't understand why his little brother is devastated. Unfortunately, their dad wasn't around, right? So that impact, right? Like now your little brother, a younger person in your family, is now not only wondering where you are and why you're not here anymore, and if they do know, like why, right? Like where you are, oh, you was in jail, or why? But why? Why is it not? You're supposed to be here. Impact that goes beyond just the person pulling the trigger and the person shot, right? But this is the culture that's been propagated, right? This is violent culture, right? Like, and we can go all the way back to the invasion of the Indo-Europeans and creating the battering rams and like the bigger guns, right? Like before, when there were wars, there were fights, right? And occasionally somebody may have died, but it's brutality now. We have zero care about, even if you go back to the mafia, it's like no women and children, right? They're not involved, got nothing to do with this. You go now, it's two young men chased this young girl in the building, shot her and killed her, right? In her building, shot her and killed her. And when she said, I'm a girl, I got nothing to do with that, they said, we don't give a fuck. Shot her and killed her in her head still. It's violence in America. So when I speak about, or I'm going to go back to the quote, why are we violent? We are violent because we are violent. I do not think that we have gotten to the consciousness yet where we understand even going to the simplest things of our diet. of how propagating violence against one, right? Violence begets violence, allows for violence to then be propagated against you. So why are we violent? Because we are violent. We kill animals for sport. Kill animals for sport. We destroy families of animals for sport, right? Even, I think, deeper consciousness, right? Every couple of weeks, right? 2 weeks, I think, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I give my fiance some flowers, right? And even me understanding violence and understanding a flower being picked from a garden is violence. I understand that a flower being picked from a garden is violence. Flowers, plants are living beings. They have emotions, feelings, right? Different than ours to a degree, right? But they feel. They have families, right? They are growing together, right? In the same home, right? And one person goes and picks it. Poof. Suddenly, abruptly, right? Sometimes violently, we rip it out the ground, right? Come here, right? But the rest of the flowers not like, oh snap, wait, we have somebody here. Wait, where's? But in our mind, it's for a greater cause. I want to make my beloved smile. I want to freshen up the air in the home. I want to, whatever the cause is, whatever the reason is, in our minds and hearts, it's for a better cause, a greater cause, without care of that family that was destroyed. This is deep. And that leads me to a thought, memory. When Tara, beloved in Queensbridge, was shot and killed on her 27th birthday by her sister in her home in front of her 4-year-old son. When Tara was shot and killed, devastated us, rocked the whole community. 27th birthday, March 27th, shot and killed in her crib by her sister in front of her son. Tragedy all around the board. But it was on Tara's obituary that I read something that shifted my perspective. I was in my mother's crib. I was crying like a baby. Right? I was with my brother Razor and going through all of the emotions. And on the back of the obituary, it said, God was walking through his garden looking for the perfect flower. He saw you and plucked you. God was walking through his garden looking for the perfect flower when he saw you and plucked you. That made me think about the flower that I plucked, right? At the time, I wasn't plucking many flowers. I wasn't giving many women flowers then, right? I wanted to, but it's time and place for everything. But then about the flower that I plucked for a greater cause, my beloved, family, flowers, plants are altered, lives destroyed to a degree. Once you pluck the flower, it begins to die, right? Is it not the same when we talk about our brothers and sisters who were shot and killed? Can we not adopt the same perspective? Yes, it hurts. Yes, we can say that it shouldn't have happened. But if we are going to say that everything happens for a reason, if we are going to say that God is in control, if we're going to say that all is divine, if we're going to say that the universe is perfect, if we are going to say that I can pluck a flower for my beloved for a greater cause, then how can the divine not pluck your beloved for a greater cause? What is the greater cause? Every day that we are born in the physical realm, we die in the spirit realm. But when we die in the physical realm, we are reborn fully into the spirit realm, which is the realm from which we came. Do we not all want to go home? Will we not all like to get home from work as soon as possible? Some people want to stay at work longer, right? Some like to put in overtime. Some like to go a little harder at their jobs. Nothing wrong with that. But those who want to go home faster, and I say this as I'm fighting back tears and emotions because this is not a perspective that I grew up with. This is not a perspective that is held by many. This is still a perspective that, like, I'm even wrestling with. the divinity of all things. Especially when we talk about in our community. Black man, black woman, fighting, killing a black man and a black woman. We live together. Yes, it's going to happen. Yes, people kill who they live around. But the frequency in which it's happening in our neighborhoods is alarming. And we have to say that. It is absolutely alarming. Day, time, person, situation, where they at. There's been block parties shot up. There's been basketball games shot up. Right. Now, I used to tell people, so listen, I'm a gangster. I respect gangster stuff. If you run up on somebody and shoot them in the head, if it's that serious, that's a little more respectful. It's effed up, a little more respectful than shooting across the block where a grandmother could get hit or a child got to duck under the bench. Lack of care. Lack of care. Violence in America is taught. Violence in America is learned. Violence in America is conditioned. We are conditioned to be violent here in America. And please do not ever believe that the American government wants to stop the violence. They don't. They are the biggest propagators of violence throughout the world. And here, they don't want to stop the violence. So don't feed into it. Don't feed into the gun buyback programs. They want to get the guns to the street so that you can't fight back when they invade your communities. Don't give into it. As we know, the guns are not the problem. The problem is the people who lack love, who lack self-awareness, who lack emotional control, right? Who are not able to resolve conflict peacefully. Those people with guns is the problem. And again, I'm saying that as someone who's been shot, someone who's gone to prison for shooting, and as someone who's seen friends killed by friends. The gun isn't the issue. The issue is the mindset. The issue is the heart space. The issue is the spirit. People's spirits are poisoned. People's spirits are poisoned. People's hearts are broken, and people's minds are foggy, cloudy, muddy even. How? Conditioned through the music. Conditioned through the movies. I like Jay-Z got a bar, right? People speak about the music, right? And the music is an issue, and I'm a person who says the music is part of the issue, but it's part of it, right? But Jay-Z said, Scarface the movie did more than Scarface the rapper to me. You talk about Scarface the rapper and gangster music and all this stuff and how bad it is. I don't know nobody who wanted to be like Scarface the rapper. We wanted to be like Scarface, Tony Montana in the movie. Gangsters, drug dealers, kill people. Propagation. Right? It's propagation, planting seeds. It's okay to be violent. You want to get what you want? Be violent. They don't listen? Be violent. It's learned children from their parents. Their parents. The parents, the people are supposed to love them the most. People are supposed to listen to them and be there for them and support them when they're sad and when they're emotional and when they're hurting, when life seems like too much. Supposed to be there and be a safe space. There are parents who beat their children, who hit their children. That is violence. That is violence, regardless of how you chop it up. Violence. Violence. I ask people say their fathers I know, right, who say, oh, their child needs a, butt whooping every now and then. They need to, they don't listen, they got to straighten up. I ask a very simple question. If I'm dating your daughter and she's not listening, can I slap her? No, she's an adult, it's different. It is different, she's an adult. It's worse than why you slapping a child. If it's different, she's an adult, and I can't slap her because we should be able to, and I'm an adult, we should be able to communicate and rationalize, right? Then why can't you as an adult do that with your child? Or your child doesn't listen? Then they don't understand. Then you beating them, they don't understand. You hitting them, they don't understand. How you shape it up, it should not be happening. It's violence. But what happens then? Children internalize that, right? The majority internalize that and go out and enact violence either against others or against themselves. Drinking, drugging, right? I like how, and I'm saying sarcastically, how some of the older generation, right, 50s and up, right, 55s and in that generation, they speak about how, the young people these days are disrespectful. They got no respect for nobody, right? The parents need to be beating them. We was beaten, we didn't do certain things. Yeah, y'all smoked crack. Y'all sold crack to each other, right? Y'all killed each other over crack, right? They killed each other over crack. There are people in my neighborhood that age who say that to me, who I know, their friends killed each other over drugs, drug money. People ain't doing that no more, right? They're not really killing each other over drug money like friends, like in the same crew, because there's not that much money being made, so they're not doing that, right? Like, that's not really happening right now. But it happened before. People killed people they knew over drug money. Y'all was better? It was better? No. Took that violence that your parents enacted upon you, and maybe you may have been respectful to your parent, right? Maybe you didn't curse your parent out like you say some of young people are doing now. They have no respect for their parents. Okay, but you went outside and you was a terror. You caused terror in your neighborhood. You caused terror in your city. Right? Violence begets violence every single time. And again, because yes, we are individuals and we process things different. Yes, there are some people who are beat, right, who are hit, who may have never been violent, may have been the most peaceful. They have learned. And yes, that's a rarity though. The majority of those who are violently hit by their parents turned out to either be violent against others, right? Abuse drugs, abuse alcohol, be emotionally unstable, accept violence from others, right? Because that is normalized. Oh, this is just love. And so and I know people personally in my family who have accepted violence from others, right? And I know that it's a direct result of their parent hitting them. I know that. But everybody's not willing to have that conversation, not ready to have that conversation and admit that. And that's okay. Everybody's growing in their own pace. All right. But when we speak about violence in America, we're speaking about how it's conditioned from family to family, from generation to generation. We are speaking about the result of a violent culture. American culture, as much as I love my country, is death culture. This is death culture. People eat death, dead animals. Right? We listen to music and watch movies about death. Right? And I'm someone who I love the thriller movies. I love the suspense. I love the shooting movies when people are getting killed. Right? And I wonder sometimes, is that because I grew up violent? Violence enacted upon me and me always acting out in violence, right? I'm an 80s baby. We didn't hit our parents, right? Our parents would kill us. My parent hit me. What did I do? I went outside and I hit somebody else. That's honest. My mother specifically hit me. My father didn't hit me at all. My mother hit me. I could not hit my mother. I could not raise my voice at my mother. I couldn't do anything back in defense of it. All I could do was cry and get angry. And I promise you, there were days when I went outside. And as soon as I went outside, I had a fight. As soon as I got to school, I had a fight. I couldn't wait to hurt somebody else because I was hurt and I couldn't do nothing about it. Again, we didn't. My generation. Some people may have, but we didn't really hit our parents, yell at our parents, curse at our parents. We took whatever happened and we dealt with it. Went in our room and cried, or we went outside and we fought, and that's what I did. Right. And I know that my violence is a result of the violence that was enacted upon me. And so now there's a line where somebody said, well, you got to be accountable. Okay. I am accountable now, right? I committed the acts. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm saying my mindset. But if we're going to cure an issue, if we're going to heal a sickness, we have to be able to honestly admit how that sickness developed in that body. And the only way is through truth. Truth, freedom, justice. That's it. You got to be honest. You got to be honest. You can't heal it unless you are real with it and face it and admit it. So we got to unplug and we got to reprogram, right? We got to reprogram, family. It's a necessity. Now, 2025, summer is here, right? It's middle of May. And May 18th is the other half of May. June is right there. Summer is here. We complain every year. It's summertime, violence rises, violence increases. Why is that? Why is that? It's because as the sunlight, right, as there's more sun in the day, right, and as the sunlight becomes a little more intense, right, it's like cooking, right? We stir up all of the cells, all of the emotions, all of the things that were suppressed during winter, right? The radical cells literally start to go crazy. And those who lack the emotional control, emotional stability, mental awareness, right? And a lot of times it's hard to have that stability, emotional and mental awareness when you are drunk and high all the time, right? Drunk and high all the time. And then you add on the music, the movies, You add on all of the things, all of the constant need for sex, and you add all of that stuff together, person can't be sane, right? Person can't be sane. They can't be in their right mind. And so the littlest thing, people react violently, right? You guys may have heard the saying before, right? I think we are similar in terms of where we come from, right? New York City and similar types of parents, right? Similar age. You must be out your rabbit ass mind. You heard that before? You never heard that? I'm saying the generation. We come from the generation, whether your parents said it, it's the generation we come from. You must be out your rabbit ass mind. And yeah, people are out of their mind. People are not in their right minds. You couldn't have been in your right mind. That's real. People are not in their right minds. People are in the mindset of the oppressor. People are in the mindset of violence. People are in the mindset of those who do not care about others. That is the mindset that people are in. That's it. Right? So it is. People are not in their right minds. People are out of their minds. Yes, they are. And then you know what else? People have shit for brains. People are full of shit, literally. 10 to 30 pounds of undigested, uneliminated waste in the colon, the average human. And then you add millennial right now in the last 10, 15 years, I guess, there's been more poop in the streets than ever before, dog poop. People are breathing that in. People are not thinking clearly. Terrible foods. What you got a recipe for? For violence. Violence is a creation. Understand that the culture of violence in our society was created by some very, very clever scientists, very clever sociologists, right? People who study people, behavior, mind, right? Energy, what food does to you with these different chemicals. Chemists put this chemical with that chemical, right? You mix it with this, you give it this exposure to light, right? Like this is science, and this is the result you're going to get. 7, 8, 9 out of 10. You can get the same result. That's why they're able to base stats, right? This is the scientific, y'all. Scientific. It's mathematic. But this is a result. The violence in our neighborhood, us killing each other. It's learned behavior. We learned how to solve our problems through violence from the people who work to oppress the whole world over, from colonialists. All right? It's colonialism. It's deeper than racism. Right? It's deeper than racism. Some would say it's straight up hate for human life. And there are people who hate humans. There are people who hate humans who they're human, right? But they hate other humans because they believe that their humanity is superior. Right? They believe them, their group, their people who look like them, who eat like them, who speak like them, are superior than no other group of people, right? Should exist. Or if they do exist, they should exist as our servants, as our slaves, as people we oppress. They do what we say, we control them. That mindset is still ever present, my brothers and my sisters. So it's a mind thing. In the 7 Hermetic laws, the first law, the first principle is the all is the mind. The universe is mental. If we want to change the conditions in our community, we have to change our mindset. We have to change how we think. Tupac said it. We got to change the way we eat. We got to change the way we live. We got to change the way we treat each other. The old way wasn't working, so it's on us to do what we got to do to survive. If we want our communities to be safer, if we want our sons, our daughters, our brothers and our sisters, our fathers and our mothers to be safer in our neighborhoods, we got to do something different. You cannot continue to do the same exact things expecting a different result. That is the definition of insanity. Same thing, expecting different result. How? We cannot protest our way into a peaceful community, right? We cannot simply pray our way into a peaceful community. We have to work it. We have to work it. We have to make it work. It comes with sacrifice, right? It comes with doing work on yourself. There are people who say, oh, it was a poem, right? The sister, Erica Ford, wrote this poem when I used to work with Life Camp. And we used to do these funerals, right? Do a lot of funerals. And we would then do mock funerals at high schools, right? We'd bring a casket into the high school at the assembly and the young people would be devastated. And she would come in a lot of times reading a poem saying, don't cry for me because subconsciously you killed me. And she read that poem one day at a funeral for a brother who was killed, right? A young brother was killed. She was killed. No, he was killed. No, young brother was killed. He had a baby by this girl. This girl was crying. She was devastated that her baby father got killed, but she was telling people she's gonna get her brother to shoot them. Separately, completely separate situations, right? She got a brother who's a street dude, right? Telling people in person on social media, I get my brother to do this to you. But then her baby father is killed, completely not by her brother or anything like that, completely separate situation. Her baby father's killed and she's devastated. Oh, why did this happen? This shouldn't be happening. Erica Ford read that poem, Don't Cry For Me Because Subconsciously You Killed Me. And I think without saying, so many people in that space understood what was being said. So many people understood what was being said. We propagate violence. Oh, I'm going to get this person to F you up. What? This person take you out. What? You do something to me? Da 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 da. And it'd be small things we'd be willing to go the distance for. But then when something happens to our beloved, we say it shouldn't happen. I look at my friends who we've all lost people, and some more than others, right? Because some know more people than others, but we've all lost, like my friend group in Queensbridge specifically, the couple hundred of us, we've lost the same people, right? The same people. And I'm watching my brothers and my sisters continue to propagate and perpetuate that violence. I'm watching them. I'm watching them be devastated at funerals. I'm watching them drink more, smoke more, right? They're not being honest with their emotions. They're saying they're good when they're broken inside. I'm watching this and it's hurting. But I'm watching them propagate the same energy. I'm watching it. I'm watching and it hurts. It hurts bad. Very, very bad. It makes me angry. It makes me sad though. Right? Because it's like we still don't get it. Young brother got killed. My good brother, bully, Troy, got killed. And while we are mourning his murder on the block, I'm watching his stepson listen to the drill music and talk about shooting and killing people. And I'm watching the other young people gather around him. And I'm looking at my friends. Now, this is, right, I had just started coming back around the hood regularly, right? Like on my block, hanging out on the block regularly. I hadn't done that in a while. Like I started again. After Pitt got killed, I was all right, my hood needs my energy more. All right? But when Bully got killed, and I'm watching his stepchildren, I'm watching their friends, and I'm looking at my friends who hang with them all the time, and I'm like, nobody's gonna say anything about this music? This music is terrible. And my friend's like, yeah, man, they don't get it. No, say something. Yo, y'all gotta turn that music off, yo. Sugar Ray, what you talking about? Yo, just got killed. And we talk about somebody got killed, and we come on, Sugar Ray. It is. I'm like, say something. Nobody wants to say anything. Nobody wants to say anything. And I get it sometimes because you say something and you don't get the results you want immediately. But that's when we pray for the ability to communicate in an effective way, that the people who we want to get this message to, they get it. We get the words, we get the emotion together, and we communicate in a way that they understand, like, damn, he's right, she's right. It's not easy. So you can't tell another man, they freaking 17, 18, 19, what are you talking about? Turn that shit off. Turn it off. Okay, yes, it is a reality that they may do something, but this situation is different. We know these young people. I get it. It's a lot to think about and consider and process, but god damn, we got to do something. Violence cannot continue like this in our community with us accepting it and saying nothing. Specifically, when somebody loses their life and people around them who are hurt perpetuate the same behaviors that led to that. We got to say something. We have to. If you consider yourself, I think, a caring human, you care about people in your neighborhood, right? You call yourself a parent, a father, a mother, aunt, uncle, caretaker. It's your obligation and responsibility to say something. You got to. Even if they don't listen, at least to see what's planted, right? Like, yo, that music, man, is part of the problem in our life. Don't be afraid. Get on people's nerves. You don't want to get on nobody's nerves? They don't listen to you anyway. They don't follow you anyway. So get on their nerves, especially if you know that they're going to at least hear you to a degree. They're not going to disrespect you. They're not going to curse you out and say, get the hell out of here, old man. Get out of here, old lady. They're going to hear what you got to say. They may not take it into action right away, but they're going to hear you. Even if they walk away, say something. The seed will be planted. Don't be fooled, or don't think that the small seed planted on a Tuesday can't take root in 6 months and grow. Don't be foolish enough to think that. Your words matter. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. What you say matters. And it has deep impact. What you say can impact someone's life. It does impact someone's lives. How do I know? Because all of our lives are impacted by the freaking violent culture in America. All of us know somebody. Either we lost somebody to violence that we love and care about, or we know somebody who lost somebody to violence that they lost somebody to violence that they loved and cared about. All of us. I said all of us. So you got to say something. Get involved. And getting involved just means doing your part to push a peaceful message. Address the issues, right? Talk about it. You're around young people, you know that they may be up to no good. Yo, what's going on? Yo, what y'all up to? Oh, ain't all right, what's happening? Yo, listen, y'all know such and such got killed. Yo, y'all know about how y'all feel about this. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. Ask those questions, because you'll be surprised young people want to have those conversations because they're hurting. There's no way possible. Listen, there's some young people in my neighborhood who I know and love. They lost their father. They lost their mother. They lost a sibling. And they lost countless friends. Like, friends, like, not even just their age, people a little older and people a little younger. One of my young boys, his god brother got shot and killed. He was 10 years old, straight bullet. But actually, I'm lying. It wasn't a straight bullet. We thought it was a straight bullet. Then they said it might have been intentional because I think it was like 10, 11. He's playing basketball. He's better than the other kids. They just beat them in the basketball game. And the kid, I think the kid's big brother. Basically projects. He lost his god brother to murder. And then his older sister got stabbed and killed, murder. And then his mother died. All within 3 years, literally. 4 years. 1 year, god brother. The next year, his sister. 2 years later, his mother. In 4 years, he lost his god brother, his sister, and his mother. Whole family, pretty much. His dad's not around. He got his uncle there taking care of him now. He's devastated. And again, it's hard. And I'm saying all of this, and it's hard for me to talk to him, right? Like, it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. But when I see him, I speak to him every now and then. I'll text him, right? And I know I could do more. I could organize more specific groups for young men and young people who've lost loved ones to violence, and to process that so that they don't in turn propagate more violence. And that's my push to myself, is to always, how much more can I do? What more can I do? I could do more. I could always do more. There's always more to be done. But understand, please, brothers and sisters, as we go through this week, Sunday to Saturday, work, school, traveling, trains, buses, late nights, early mornings, all the different emotions that we are going to experience in this upcoming week. Please keep in mind that everybody's not operating on the same frequency as you. Everybody's not operating on the same frequency as you. If you have some sanity and you are able to feel something and then think about what you feel and process it and express it in a healthy way, everyone doesn't have that same capacity. Everyone doesn't have that same ability. Now, can they develop that ability? Of course. Do they have it now? If they did, we wouldn't see a lot of the issues that we see in our community. So as you go through your journey, be a little kinder. Be a little more empathetic. Be a little more empathetic. I'm getting emotional because, like, we lack so much empathy. And I get it. The person who committed a crime is guilty. They're wrong. But chances are it was fueled by something. I shot a gun. I shot 9 shots at people, went to prison for 3 years. It's wrong. I put people's lives in danger. I could have killed someone. Thankfully, I didn't. But understand that I was taught violence, man. And I wasn't taught how to deal with my emotions. And at the time I was depressed. I hadn't dealt with the fact that my dad had died. I hadn't really dealt with the fact that my sister had passed. I hadn't dealt with the fact that I've been beat and hit by my mama, right? I hadn't dealt with any of that stuff. On top of the seeing friends kill friends. I saw one friend kill one friend on my 16th birthday. And all of the stuff that I was conditioned. How else was I supposed to respond in a situation when I feel violated? I feel violated. I feel attacked. I'm back against the wall. You come out violently, right? So please be a little empathetic and understanding. Understand that those who, as they have gone to prison for violence, they're not all bad people. Those who commit acts of violence are not all bad people. They may have committed a bad act. There may be some retribution, all right? Some redemption, some atonement that can take place. But understand that the forgiveness that you are deserving of, they are also deserving of. The grace and compassion that you are worthy of, they are also worthy of. So extend that grace and compassion. Extend that level of understanding. If you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. If you got no way to help someone, let them be. Right? There's no need to spew venom. Speak only what you want. Don't focus on the things that you don't want. If you want a peaceful world, a peaceful community, a peaceful society, focus on that. Let us focus on the world that we want to build, not the world that we're currently living in that we don't like. Right? See it, assess it, address it, and then focus on what you want to build. And with that, I say thank you for listening. Thank you for being here with me on this Sunday. Frankie Lot TV, Frankie Low TV? What's going on? What's going on? Peace and love, brother Sefusi and Kofa. Peace and love. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We are going to burn some Palo Santo and get into a meditation. Is there any thing anyone would like to say, share, feedback? Anything specific you want to drop in? You want to mention a name? Send some love out to a beloved? Please drop it in the chat, and I will say their names. I will share your message. This is a very tough topic. I'm sorry if I triggered anyone. It's real heavy to talk about this stuff, guys. But then I imagine the family members who experience it, how heavy that is. The children who have buried their parents, the children who may never know their parents, the parents who have had to bury their children, the siblings, the brothers who have had to bury their brothers, and sisters who have had to bury their sisters and brothers, and uncles and nieces and nephews. It's not easy to talk about, but we have to talk about it because we have to address it. This is affecting us in some very alarming ways. But with that said, I invite all of you to get still in this moment, at this time. If you are sitting or laying, find the most comfortable position for you. If you are sitting, allow your feet to be planted on something, the floor, a stool, or allow them to dangle a little comfortably. Allow your back to be straightened by the chair behind you. You can allow your arms, your hands to rest gently in your lap or by your side. Allowing your head to lean forward so that your chin is in your chest. And allowing your eyes to close ever so softly. And just becoming aware of your breath. Becoming aware of the breath flowing through your body. Letting you know that you are indeed awake, aware, alert, and alive. Remembering to breathe in through your nose, slowly from your abdomen. Pulling your breath up. Allowing it to reach your brain. And then allowing yourself to exhale slowly. Let's take a few minutes, a few moments to breathe in your space. As your breathing begins to settle at a steady pace, turn your attention to your mind and become aware of all of the mind stuff. Become aware of your hopes, your dreams, your fears of tomorrow. Become aware of your regrets, your memories of yesterday. And become aware of the pains and the joys of this present moment. Become aware of the sound of my voice. Become aware of any sounds you may hear outside, birds chirping, cars honking, people talking. Become aware of any sensations you may feel in your body, any movement in your feet or any pains in your sides or your shoulders, or become aware of everything in this moment. And as your breathing has begun to settle at a steady pace, and as your mind becomes still, I want you to create an image of yourself in your mind as you are today. See yourself in the exact position you are today. And in your core, in your stomach, create a ball of light. Turn your attention to your stomach, to your core. Create a ball of light. Let that light charge up. Give that light energy. And allow that light energy to burst and to spread to all of the people that you love, all of the people you care about, all of the people with whom you pray for their safety. Now send them light, send them strength, send them comfort, send them guidance that they may make the best choices in their life, that they may take the path that is meant for them, that they may be protected on their journeys, that they may be strengthened and empowered as they face challenges. Send them light, send them guidance, send them love, send them protection, send them strength and endurance, send them clarity so they may know who to trust and who not to trust, who is for them and who is against them. Send them the awareness to recognize when their own emotions, when their own mental state is off balance. Send them the courage so that they may ask for help when they need it, when they are processing heavy emotions and they don't know what to do in a situation. From your spot right now, where you are and how you are, you can positively impact the lives of everyone around you. You are a source of light. You are a source of love. Embrace that truth. Embrace those truths and radiate positivity, pure positivity. Radiate pure positivity and love and joy and freedom of expression. Take a few moments to sit in the space of divine light, divine love. Know that you are loved. Know that you are cherished. Know that you are sacred and you are adored. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you know. And you are greater than you could ever imagine. Ashe. If your eyes are closed, slowly begin to open them. Look at your toes, move your fingers. Give yourself a neck roll. And thank you all for tuning in. Happy Sunday. Hope that your week is beautiful. Syria, what's going on, my sister? Peace and love. Thank you so much, Parrish Maurice Warren, aka Flam. Blessings, blessings, blessings upon his spirit, blessings upon his daughter, blessings upon his siblings, his family, his nieces, nephews, and all those he loved. I see you guys next week. Peace and love.